Black Panther presents an alternative reality in which an African country named Wakanda is able to thrive off of an abundance of a fictional resource called vibranium and become a world superpower. Not only does the film draw parallels from reality ranging from cultural aesthetics, music, and traditions, but it uses these ideas to try and imagine what a future-era African civilization could look like. It takes heavy inspiration from science fiction but diverges away from conventional Eurocentric understandings of utopian aesthetics, which typically rely on extremely clean, white, and smooth environments in order to convey their futurism. The movie places itself in a position to create an argument for African potential, and spends much of its time devoted to contrasting the ideas it represents with the concepts that Western society has time and time again upholded through media and representation. Concepts such as African inferiority, one where the inability of African nations to progress is not a result of its history with colonialism and continued fight against imperialism, but rather a personal failure of the people to embrace Western ideas and succeed in the free market. Their counter being the success of Wakanda as a nation untouched by colonizers, where through the personal ownership of their natural resources we're able to surpass most Western nations. Or tropes like the African warlord, a bulky man devoted to sowing chaos in their homeland in order to gain wealth and power. This idea is critiqued via Black Panther's stellar character writing and development. T'Challa, the main character and the Black Panther, is a civilized and powerful man who achieved wealth through bringing the people of Wakanda prosperity and happiness as their king. Killmonger, on the other hand, is a man who fought and killed to reach his status, setting his sights on Wakanda for wealth, power, and to bring upon the world he wants. He was born in America, lived in America, and fought for America, and in turn became the American warlord, inspired by the effects that American imperialism has brought onto the region. Again and again, the film dismantles our various Eurocentric ideas of African culture, ability, influence, and organization. This is not without reason, though. For many, this may simply look like a simple refutation of biases in our popular culture without actually saying anything on its own. Rather, this film spends a lot more time promoting a different narrative: hope. By contrasting T'Challa against Killmonger or Wakanda against America, the movie does not simply address these ideas as racist, and indeed they are, but also wrong. Wakanda is not fantastical. It is not a one day maybe, it is a could have been. For example, vibranium is not an idea invented out of thin air. Africa holds most of the world's natural resources, and therefore it is not far-fetched to say, had they been able to make use of them, African nations could have easily developed rapidly into political powerhouses. If Western nations hadn't stifled development in the region, these nations would have been some of the most profitable trade hubs in the world. The movie then in fact says, not only are our concepts of Africa both false and racist, but had empires of the past engaged with the African people through trade rather than conquest, Wakanda may have not been so imaginary.